Namaskar everyone. As the title says, this is about Darakaraka. But before starting on this, I just wanted to share with you uh, how come I thought about this topic, and it's a bit funny. Uh, so happened that I think a week or a couple of weeks back, on YouTube you get these recommendations based on probably your past history or whatever you have browsed or seen, etc. So I started getting all these recommendations on Darakaraka. Initially, I was surprised. Darakaraka. It's a bit advanced topic, and secondly, these were pretty long videos, like 30, 40, 50 minute long videos. Generally, I've seen in jyotish most of the videos in YouTube, etc., like 10, 15, even 2, 3 minutes long. These are pretty long, and a lot of people seem to have watched it. And I was intrigued because I thought, I learned something out of this also. It's always good to see different content. Though honestly speaking, I hardly find time to see general content in YouTube on astrology. I mostly watch those of my Gurujis, Shri Vistila Senji, Pandit Sanjay Rachi, Srimati Sarbani Rachi. So these or some other great astrologers from our tradition, what they have to say. Um, so, but I was intrigued by this, I thought let's check it out. And when uh, you know, the starting itself of many of these videos were about uh, Darakaraka. If sun is Darakaraka, this is how it will be. If moon is Darakaraka, this is how it will be. First of all, that itself sort of took me aback. You were talking about Darakaraka and straight away you're jumping into this? Okay. Not just that, they're talking about the features, generally the physical features or maybe the nature of the person's partner or spouse. That also intrigued me. You can tell about the physical features. And there was some videos which said if Venus is your Darakaraka, then your wife is very beautiful, very well formed. Um, in Hindi, I remember one word one guy used was about Sudol. Sudol Sharir. It's like very well formed and beautiful to look at, etc. And I was like, how can you talk about the physical features of of your spouse by Darakaraka at all? And the thing is, to be honest, I don't agree with these points of view, and I will show you charts. See, another thing is, none of these videos they just talk about if this planet is the Darakaraka, this is the result. If this planet is the Darakaraka, this is the result. And that people just, it seems, will take it hook, line, and sinker. That's not how we are taught. If we are taught a principle, we are shown it in charts. And if you've seen my videos till now, those who have seen it regularly, they would have seen if I say a principle, I show to you by charts. Now, I may be right, I may be wrong. Some may say, Kartik, you picked up the charts which have this, but be that as it may, at least I show it in charts. I don't just say it in the air. Okay, and it's open for verification. This chart of this person, right? Many times it's celebrities, so their charts are available. So proof of the pudding is in the eating. So I will be showing you through charts. So I'm not going to just have a monotone of 10, 15, 30 or 40 minutes of just theory over here. Okay. But having said that, I felt that I should talk about it. Though normally we don't talk that much about Darakaraka really, and not especially in the context of the physical features of the spouse. Certainly not. Darakaraka is a very advanced concept. I have studied jyotish in a parampara, in a very traditional manner, where there are specific topics taught over years. I've studied it over years. So I've completed one course which is our foundational course of our parampara, where we cover the entire Brihat Parashara Varashastra. Not really the entire, but rather a very good part of the first part of the Brihat Parashara Varashastra and even a little bit of the second part also. and in great depth. Okay, imagine that itself takes 5 to 6 years of studies. And in that, the concepts of related to Darakaraka, and one interesting thing, none of them actually tell you that Darakaraka, what Darakaraka means. Okay, Darakaraka is a Karaka, you can see. Okay, no one says that, by the way, Dara means spouse. Okay, so I'm not saying that Darakaraka is not related to spouse at all. It has definitely a bearing on spouse. Okay, that's why it's called Darakaraka. Dara means spouse or wife. But it is part of a set of karakas known as Charakaraka. Okay, and how are they determined? They determine basis the degree of a planet in a sign. That many people will tell you, look at the one with the lowest degree, that is Darakaraka. Okay, very fair enough. But what is Charakaraka? Why do we have Charakaraka? By the way, most of those who are interested in relationships and astrology about relationships, they know Venus is very important, right? Why Venus is important? Because Venus is a Karaka. Okay, if Venus is a Karaka, then what is Darakaraka? Venus is a type of Karaka which is known as Naisargika Karaka. Naisargika Karaka. Naisargika, the word Naisargika comes from Nisarga. Nisarga means natural. Okay. So there are some Karakas which are natural. Nature gives these Karakas. Sun is for father, moon is for mother, Mars is for brother, Jupiter for children, Saturn for servants, right? So on and so forth. Mercury for work, Venus for relationships, specifically wife. Okay. So this is Naisargika Karaka. This is fixed. Anyone's chart, you want to see relationships, you will see Venus. If Venus is afflicted, yeah, you can predict there will be trouble in relationships. But you can't, there are other ways of other things to confirm, to see with definite, but definitely that Venus being afflicted may cause problems in relationships. You can say that. But if that is so, if there is Naisargika, then why do we have Charakaraka? Why do we have this different set of Karakas? Okay. Now, if I were to talk about that, and it will take, good, at least I can't explain that in 2 minutes. No, sir, internet astrology not possible like that. Even then, I will have to take at least 15-20 minutes to give you some basic idea. See, these are topics I was telling when I cut myself short on that and moved somewhere else. But these are topics we are taught in the 4th or 5th year of a 5+ years of that foundational course of Parashara Shastra. Okay, so it is a pretty advanced topic, Charakarakas. Okay, by the way, another avadharana or misconception a lot of people have is this Charakarakas is Gemini astrology, Aruda is Gemini astrology, Rashi Drishtis is Gemini astrology. No, sir, these are not Gemini astrology. This is also there in Brihat Parashara Shastra. Brihat Parashara Shastra is probably the first text which ever mentions about Charakarakas. Okay, and Gemini also obviously repeats them. Why? Because Gemini is from the parampara of Parashara. Gemini is the student of Vedavyasa, who is the son of Parashara. So, we are not talking of two different schools, we are talking of one school. So, anyone talking Gemini astrology, Parashara astrology as if they are different things, no. They don't know then. Honestly speaking, they don't know the lineage itself. Okay. They may know other things, but they don't know the lineage, how it is coming. Okay, and that is important. Okay. So Parashara mentions about it. Interestingly, none of the classics mention about Charakaraka. You look at Jataka, Parijata, Saravali, etc. You won't find much mention about it at all. Maybe Atmakaraka, I guess, but not the others, certainly not. Okay. So this is a pretty advanced topic. Okay, and but one thing is important to say. Darakaraka is, I think I should tell it, otherwise you will not understand all these things. Or should I not? This shows that I don't plan out my videos really. I don't write a script or anything. So I'm thinking right now. No, I will not talk right now because it will take a lot of time. Rather, interestingly, so the key point, I'll try to bust that hole, which is that you can look at determine your spouse's physical characteristics, even I would say mental characteristics, their personality by the Darakaraka. I don't think you can do that. There is something though which it defines, but it's not very. You can't that define it that very clearly easily, and that I will have to explain to you separately with a longer video on what Jarakarakas are and where Darakaraka is placed in that scheme of things. Okay, but it's important to bust this theory because a lot of people who would have watched those programs, they are saying, hey, why is Kartik talking all this nonsense? Okay, I'm just interested what sun as Darakaraka means. Please tell me. I'm sure I'll get comments like that. My Darakaraka is Venus. How will my spouse look like? So I just want to show you the Darakaraka doesn't cover that. Okay, so with that, let me show you charts. That's the best way to prove it, right? Okay, let's see charts. Kartik will bring charts. Okay, and first chart which I'll bring, I will put myself in deeper trouble with that. Okay, but I'm an intelligent guy, so I have charts to show to you. So this is Prince William. All famous charts, that their birth dates are available, birth times are available, AA rated, so we know that this is the time they were born in, etc. So this is Prince William, the heir apparent to the throne in United Kingdom. Another reason to do all these guys is their relationship history is pretty well known. I mean, media is so much interested in that. Okay, so we have a lot of information. So, interestingly, Darakaraka is Venus here. Oh, so nice, so nice, so nice. Okay, so his spouse is beautiful, isn't she? I mean, Kate Middleton, right? The Duchess of Cambridge. No, she's pretty beautiful to look at. So this busts your whole Kartik. I mean, she is beautiful to look at. Venus is Darakaraka. Venus is in own sign in Taurus. Okay, it's in Maranakaraka Sthana though, so maybe she will have some challenges in health, right? And she did have. Okay, so that doesn't talk of her physical looks as such, but it does tell something about what she may experience. Okay, and because of that, what William will experience, because obviously his wife is suffering health concerns, so he will be worried about that, right? Mother of his children and all that. So yes, Venus as Darakaraka, very beautiful. Interestingly, I also, I did bit of research, so why and all that. So they met each other when they was living in some hostel, okay, as college kids, and so the first time he noticed her was when they had some like fashion show kind of thing inside the hostel, and she wore a see-through dress, and that's when he noticed her. So definitely looks like Venus kind of thing. Okay, so I agree with you. Let's say, okay, I agree with your theory that Venus as Darakaraka, very very beautiful spouse. Okay, fine. Let's look at other people. Let's look at his father, Charles III. He had a very beautiful spouse, and her name was Princess Diana. She passed away unfortunately. So Venus must be Darakaraka, right? Very beautiful. No, but Jupiter is the Darakaraka here. See this DK over here, it shows Darakaraka, and I have given, okay, I should show, okay, I have it. And if I move it over here, I have all, basically I wanted to show you the D9 and all that. But okay, this is Jupiter, and those who don't know this chart, this is Jupiter in Sagittarius. So Jupiter in Sagittarius is defining his Darakaraka. Okay, I have another interesting point for you. If Darakaraka is showing the physical characteristics of your spouse, now these days people have many relationships, even in India it happens, in college, someone has one relationship, then someone may get married and with someone else, and then at times it can happen that relationships can break off, and so does Darakaraka define all your relationships? So that means all the people you marry should be the same. So which means Charles has married Camilla, and before that Diana. They must be same. I mean they must look the same, is it? If physical characteristics is what Darakaraka is defining, then they must look the same, isn't it? Logically speaking, but they don't look the same. So then that does puncture a bit of hole in that theory of Darakaraka giving the physical characteristics of spouse, right? So it is Darakaraka is Jupiter over here. But is Darakaraka, the question I'm asking is Darakaraka showing Princess Diana? So I have studied this chart, and as I told you, these are very advanced topics. How to judge these things is one has to study a lot of charts and explain that. I'll try and attempt to give you some logical reasons because there's so much of advanced stuff that I can't tell everything. But I'll still give you some logical reasons for you to determine these things. Okay, I'll try. But where was I? Yeah. So Darakaraka being Jupiter, does it mean that this is Princess Diana? No, this is not Princess Diana. I'll show you that this is actually Camilla. Okay. So then, how is the Diana seen? There's only one Darakaraka. Is there some other Darakaraka, Kartik? No, sir. There's only one Darakaraka in a chart. There are no 10 Darakarakas in the chart. There can't be, because anyway there are 9 planets and only one of them is Darakaraka. So then, how do we see Diana? The beauty of Diana. How do we see that? Okay. So let's see how I can explain this. Okay, so we have, these are the D9s. You know, I like to cut to the chase, and I can share this with you. So the first partner, by the way, here when we say partner or marriage, etc., we talk of very serious relationship. And you have to understand, before Diana, Charles married Diana in 1981. Okay, dates are over here. But before that, in 1970 itself, 1971 or thereabouts, he had met Camilla, and soon they had a relationship. Then they had an off and on thing. It broke off. She married someone else. But then, I think even while she was married to the other person, they started having a relationship again. Okay, because they were close, they liked each other. But it's just that his family was against him marrying her for some reason, right? His mother especially was against that, and he could not marry her, but he liked her a lot. What can you do, right? So it was a very deep relationship. So definitely she must be considered as the first relationship for Charles. And the thing is, in the Navamsha, we see the first relationship from the 7th house. Okay. So those who don't know, you may have thought that, okay, you see all relationships from 7th house in Navamsha. No, you can't, right? Because different people are different personalities. So, I mean, then 7th house itself should show everything relationship there. How do you see the difference in the partners that you get? Camilla, Diana, different people, entirely different past of them, their family, their heritage and everything, their education, their personality and all that. So, what is the 7th lord over here? 7th lord is Mars. This Mars is in 6th house. So hence it shows that they may like each other, but you see, the first lord is Venus, Mars in trines to each other. So they like each other, there is an affinity. But this is in 6th house, so which means there is separation, right? So relationship forms, then breaks, then forms, then breaks, etc. So then where do we see the second relationship from? Second relationship comes from the second house. Second house, okay. So second house is Scorpio. Okay, you can see over here, North Indian chart, second house is Scorpio. This is South Indian chart, second house is Scorpio. Okay, this is the second. So this is Diana. Okay, because after Camilla, second one was Diana. And I think these were the two major relationships in his life. I mean, he didn't have any, maybe he would have had affairs, who knows. We don't know much about the private life entirely. But as far as relationships go, which are long term, deep, which you consider as marriage. This we consider as marriage. In Navamsha, when I am saying 7th house, 2nd house, I am talking marriage. It may not have been a formal church marriage, that's okay, but it is marriage in the sense of the quality of that relationship. Okay. So second house is Ketu. Okay. I mean, second lord is Ketu. I mean, you may say Mars is also lord of Scorpio, but we already counted Mars, right? So we should give Ketu a chance for whatever reason. Okay, so Ketu. And Ketu, by the way, being in Kendra is a bit more prominent than Mars, which is in a Dusthana over here, 6th house. So Ketu, and he marries her, right? Ketu is, by the way, also aspecting, they have something called Rashi Drishti. It's a different topic. So there is a Rashi Drishti. Whenever the planet has a Rashi Drishti on the sign becomes stronger. So that gives strength to this sign in a way. Okay. So he married her, and Ketu indicates, Ketu, we say in our, this thing is for Kula Unnati, for the progress, okay, or the enhancement of the Kula or the family, the bloodline, okay. So he married her for the blood, for expanding the family, so that he can get sons, he can get heirs, and there is an heir to the throne, okay. And she was considered as, his mother had handpicked that there must be a lady from the Spencer family, because she and the Spencer family, they had a long relationship, and the whatever, okay. So it was about the family aspect, so she was picked for that reason, and and then they got children, right? Very soon they had two nice children, and they have heir apparents because of that. And today Prince William has his children, so the throne, the lineage is going on. It is secured that way, right? So that is the purpose of this, and it is done it, right? Ketu has done it. There is one issue with this Ketu though. When Ketu is in 4th house, we call it to be in Marana Karaka Sthana, okay, which is not a good position, and it indicates death. So hence this relationship died out, and even the person died out, because Ketu is the second lord. Ketu is the second lord, which indicates Diana herself. So Diana is the Ketu, and so which indicates this has no link to the Darakaraka Jupiter. So she is not coming due to that Darakaraka thing. By the way, another very important point, I think I must say this, okay, not wait till maybe a longer video on Darakaraka. People think, okay, if I get a Darakaraka relationship, that must be very good. No sir, no. Darakaraka is basically a very karmic relationship. I mean, everything is karma, but this is coming from some deep down level, some learning your soul has to gain from this life, okay. And learnings of soul need not be very easy experiences. So Darakaraka relationship need not be an easy experience. I mean, even in Charles' case, Camilla and him, they have good relationship, but they've had a lots of ups and downs, okay. So now they've had a happy married life for almost 20 years, and we wish them well, but they have had their ups and downs. So it is not going to be easy. In some cases, Darakaraka relationship can be positively detrimental to the person also. So don't go by this thing that Darakaraka relationship is a good thing necessarily. It can be good, it can be bad. Okay, depends on your karma. Okay. So here, Ketu has no link to that. This is coming purely for expansion of the family, for the continuation of the lineage. Okay. But she died, and then he married again. And even when after his divorce, it's not like when she died, even before that, after they had divorced, he had got back with Camilla, and this time he was very clear to his mother, this is a non-negotiable thing, I'm going to be with Camilla. So he went back to Camilla. So this is, one must consider this as a third relationship, right? So generally we see third relationship from the 9th house. Okay, 9th house. So 9th lord is Mercury. But you can see there is some link between the first one, which is Mars, and this, because Mars is in the sign of Jupiter, and Jupiter goes to this 9th house. Okay. There is a sun and moon yoga over here. That is not a good yoga. We don't consider this to be a good yoga. But Jupiter anyway is positive. It's in the 9th house. Mercury in the 5th house is also very, very nice and positive over here. Okay. So this must have been this is a much better experience and relationship for him than the first one. Okay. And we can see that now you can also see the fact that this Camilla, why I was saying Camilla is the Darakaraka relationship for Charles, it is because of this reason. You see that Mars, which is the first relationship, is in the sign of Jupiter, who is the Darakaraka. This relationship links to Darakaraka. Anyway, and the third one, which is 9th, is the third relationship, which is with the same person with whom he had the first one. That is the Darakaraka. Okay. So, okay, what can we sense from this, Kartik? Please give us something. Okay, but I have more charts to show to you. Okay, something in the sense of what is this Jupiter showing? Is okay, then is Jupiter showing Jupiter is Darakaraka, someone very learned, must be, right? Jupiter, scholarly, must be like a professor kind of person. But I don't think Camilla is like, she's definitely well educated and all that, but she's not a professor in a college, right? Or some scholar in some subject. Okay, she's a normal person. She's not specifically scholarly in one area or something. I mean, as far as I know, at least, definitely she may have her areas of knowledge and strengths and all that. But she's not an Albert Einstein, right? I mean, when we think of Jupiter, and especially see Jupiter in Sagittarius, Sagittarius is the natural ninth house, Dhanu Rashi. Natural ninth house, learning, higher education, religion, someone who is very, so you can even say this is like a church. I mean, obviously, you can't marry a nun or something like that, because nuns can't marry, right? But someone like of that nature, but I mean, she doesn't seem to be like that. She's a normal person. She had her worldly life, and she had marriages and affairs and children and whatnot, right? So this is not really defining that, if I were to say. But do notice that this Jupiter, it's in a benefic sign, and you will see this link in lot of charts. Benefic signs, Jupiter. Another Jupiter I have to show to you over here. Let's go to Harry. Oh, again Jupiter, Darakaraka and Sagittarius. Is there some link? Father and son similar, but do Camilla and Meghan Markle look the same? Meghan is the wife of Harry, Prince Harry. Do they look the same? So physical characteristics certainly not there. Do they behave in the same manner? We don't know really, but I don't think so. I mean, they are different people. Meghan is definitely a celebrity in her own right. She's an actress, and she's worked in various serials, TV serials, etc. She's well known in her own right, and so very different from, say, Camilla, who is more like the upper class British gentry, and all that. I think Meghan is more from a working class background who has worked her way up. So it's not. I don't think they are the same really. Okay. So let's okay. I'll spare you over here. So let's look at his chart straight away, and let's see the. Let me expand a little bit so that's easier. We'll see his D9 straight away. So I can very clearly say that this is his. This is his first marriage, and he may have had relationships in the past, but really speaking, as a marriage, as a serious thing, this is the one. Okay, and it's also seen from the fact that you can see the 7th house is Rahu, and he met her, he married her, and everything happened in the Rahu Dasha. So, which pretty much says that this is the thing. Okay, let me see one thing over here. Yeah. 7th from Sun is also Aquarius over here. Rahu lords that. So, yeah. So, very much this is the marriage, right? Now, I'll share one interesting point over here. So again, the first time Harry noticed her. So it is mentioned. I did some research. So again, you see, it's not just like simply saying Venus is Darakaraka is this, Jupiter is Darakaraka is this. It's actually doing research and going through their life and trying to see that with their chart. So Harry mentions that how did he first see Meghan? Okay, so he was scrolling through his Instagram chats thing. Okay, and he noticed one post by a friend of his. I don't know which friend is this, in which Meghan featured in that photo, in that picture, and it had this dog's ears. I think in Instagram and all, you put this on your face, like having dog's ears or dog's nose kind of thing on your face, on the picture, right? So in this case, she had dog's ears, and that caught his attention. Okay, so I have an interesting thing over here. Okay, and this sort of matches with the chart, so I'm sharing this. So the 7th house is Rahu and Saturn, and there's Ketu in the Lagna. There's a Rahu Ketu parivartana also over here. Okay, because Rahu is in Pisces and Ketu is in Virgo, and we consider Pisces to be a sign of Ketu and Rahu to be lording Virgo as well. This is kind of parivartana. So there's also Saturn Ketu yoga. We say Saturn Ketu as a yoga known as Turagadi yoga. Turagadi means animals. Okay, and Rahu itself, leave aside Saturn Ketu, Rahu itself indicates animals. Okay. By the way, either Saturn or Ketu, either ways you may say, but definitely Ketu definitely indicates dog. So see that point, and this matches with the chart. So this is how we look at charts, and this is how we see. Okay, is this Navamsha right? Is it this relationship? Yes, she is this first relationship. But what is she indicated by? She is indicated by the lord of this. You can say it is Ketu, but it's also Jupiter. Okay. Both are quite strong, I would say. Both are quite strong. Hey, what is this? He also has a sun moon yoga in Navamsha. Interesting. And it's in Gemini. His father had Sagittarius. His father had it in Gemini. And Jupiter sun moon over here. Now sun moon. Some interesting stuff going on over here. Okay. So this one can say is definitely Darakaraka relationship, in the sense this is a deep spiritual bond with a person. Okay. So that's why just seeing an Instagram photo, you've not even seen the person, but immediately he started texting her, and then they share text messages, and then they started dating basis that. Right? There must be something, right? It's not like you were formally introduced with someone and you just started chatting. You saw someone on an Instagram chat and you got attracted and you started speaking, interacting with them, and they end up becoming a spouse soon after. Alright? So definitely there's something. So this is a relationship with deep spiritual import for this person. Spiritual doesn't mean necessarily like, it's in the religious sense, but it is related to the soul's karma. You may say like that. Okay. I have to explain that when I talk about Darakaraka in detail. Okay. If you're interested, please let me know. Anyhow, I will make a video sometime or the other. But if you have interest, let me know. Or as anything specific you want to know, do let me know in the comments. Okay. So, this is definitely the person. But how is Jupiter showing her physical features? Meghan Markle. If Jupiter is showing her physical features, then how would we say? By the way, okay, we may argue that in a different way. Yeah. Camilla, what exactly was Camilla in Charles's chart, right? Charles's chart, Camilla was, we may say, Mars, okay, or it could be Mercury. It could be a mix of both. But Jupiter being in the 9th house definitely plays a big role, and it is in the same sign, Gemini. So you can't even argue Jupiter in a different sign or whatever, right? Jupiter is the Darakaraka. Jupiter is the Darakaraka in the sign of Gemini, be it in Charles's chart or be it in Harry's chart. But their spouses look pretty different. Look at Meghan Markle, her features, and look at Camilla. They look pretty different. Camilla may say today is old. Okay, go and see her photos when she was young. Yes, she was beautiful, but Meghan is definitely, would say, pretty in a different way, and definitely more prettier, okay, and has that charm which makes her a celebrity, whatever, right? So, and by the way, Camilla had a very bad time with the press. Meghan also is having that, but not before marrying Harry, right? Certainly. So the same planet in the same sign is indicating the spouse as Darakaraka, but they are physically pretty different looking. Not just physically, even the background and everything is pretty different. So you can't really say that Darakaraka is about these physical features of personality or how they behave, etc. There would be something about the behavior, or there would be something about the experience Harry has with Meghan, or Camilla has with Charles has with Camilla. Do note, in both the cases, in the Navamsha, Jupiter is associated with the Sun Moon combination, and it has not been an easy experience for both. Harry has had his challenges. It is not with the spouse. Charles did not have a problem with Camilla, but he had a problem with his family with Camilla's relationship. Okay. Similarly, Harry is not having problem with Meghan herself, but he's having an issue with his dad with this relationship. Okay. So, but there is problem both are facing in that. That is one interesting to note, that the Darakaraka is in this combination. And I think it's due to this Sun Moon association with the Darakaraka in the Navamsha. Okay. So I have a lot of charts to show. I mean, I have John Kennedy, but I have taken more than half an hour, and I know people's attention span is very minimal. I don't know really whether I should continue. Maybe I will take a break now, and I'll cover more charts. There's Kennedy, Trump. By the way, Trump has Saturn as Darakaraka. Certainly, I mean, Melania is quite beautiful. Saturn Darakaraka. What would people define? Someone very old and haggard? Come on, no. Yeah. But do note the Saturn is with Venus, so that could be a good point to say, right? So on and so forth. We have a lot of charts. Okay, so I'll cover it in some future sessions. So I hope one point is very clear, that Darakaraka is not clearly defining the spouse's features. All those long lectures which you've seen where different people talk about the features of the spouse from the planets, take that with a pinch of salt is all my advices. Okay. So thank you so much, and thank you for your patience. Namaste.